all know how the song starts. Blue jean baby, L lady, lady, seamstress for the band. All right, here we go. Tiny Dancer by Elton John. Man, you want to talk about my greatest piano influence. He's one of a kind. He's British. Go figure. Another British genius. So here we go. Tiny Dancer. There's a lot to this song. It's over a 6-minute song. It's Elton John and Billy Joel are not beginner friendly, but don't worry. You can still play it. Well, I think it takes practice. So here we go. As always, I'm going to break this song down in parts. I broke it down in, I think, 7 or 8. There's a lot to the song, so just bear with me. It's very doable if you learn it in parts. And that's what I found too. So it's the easiest. So basically part 1 is the intro, that whole. And I'll show you how he plays that. Part 2 is that whole. Blue jean baby, L lady, lady. Seamstress for the band. He goes to the F over A and then the G over B, back to C. That's part 2. Actually, I'm going to call that 2A because 2B is the next time he comes around. Pretty-eyed pirate smile. Seems like it's the same, and it kind of is at first, but then it goes, you're marrying music, man. Now instead of coming F over A and up, he goes, and he comes down. So that's 2B. Again, it's mostly remembering these chords. Once you know your chords, you can pretty much play any song. That's why we stress chords. And I'll get to that, I promise. We'll do chords very soon. And I'll show you guys scales and all the beginner stuff. If you guys are beginners that you want to play these cool songs and you don't know what I'm talking about when I say D7 and E minor 7. If you don't know your chords, you're not going to be able to play songs very easily. And I know that from mistakes. I know that from past experience. I started off the first 3 years learning, Jump by Van Halen. Subdivisions by Rush. I knew all this cool stuff, but I didn't know what a G minor was. I didn't know what a C minor 7 was. I didn't know what a D major. I didn't know any of that stuff. I didn't know what a C sus2 or C sus4 was. So anyways, we'll get into all that. Okay, part 3 is the ballerina. You must have seen her dancing in the sand. And then it comes back to the C. Now she's in me. Okay, part 4 is the now she's in me, always with me. Then it goes tiny dancer in my hand. So part 5 is that I would feel so real lying here. That part that's way off, that's leading up to the hold me closer, tiny dancer. I'll show you those chords. So part 6, of course, is Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dancer. I'll show you those chords. Lay Me Down in Sheets of Linen. Okay, part 7 is the bridge, and that's after the Tiny Dancer. Lay Me Down in Sheets of Linen. And then it goes, you had a busy day today. Right here it goes. Comes back to the C for the Tiny Dancer. And then part 8, of course, is the ending. So, but then he goes from the C to the F. And he ends on the C. So part 1 is the intro. Now, the intro is really, it basically goes from the left hand, and then the right hand goes a full octave C, hits the F and the D, so it's I'm just gonna do part 1 slow. Here we go. It goes. That's the first one. That's the second one. third one. That's the fourth one. So part 2 is the Blue Jean Baby, later, just for the bang. So those chords in part 2 are a C, F over C, and then F sus 2 over C, then back to C. But he does it like this. He's doing figuring or broken chords on his right hand, and on his left, if you're a beginner, you don't have to do that. The G, you could just do the C or C note. It's kind of more the easier version. So you could do that if you want if you're a beginner, but I've watched him play it and he does this. Something like that. So, but the chords are a C, F over C, C, F over C, and then C, C sus4, C, F over A, G over B, C. That's it. Those are the chords to part 2. So the pattern of part 2 is just to get the rhythm is a does that. So that first part I just did is 2A, and then 2B is when it comes ballerina. We must have seen those are different chords. That's 2B. So part 3 ballerina. Ballerina, you must have seen her dancing in the sand. Those chords are an F, ballerina, an E minor 7, which is a G over an E. And then A minor 7, you must have seen her, D over F sharp, he does like a D sus 2, and then D minor 7, E minor 7, dancing in the sand, and then A minor, and then G over B, and then right back to the C. Now she's in me, and then back to that part. So right from the I'll just show you the chords and I'll play it slow. So here it goes, right from the and then back to the C. So to review once again, the chords in part 3 are F, E minor 7, A minor 7, D over F sharp, that little D sus 2 over F sharp, and then dancing in the sand is an F over D, which is a D minor 7, E minor 7, and then A minor, and then G over B. Okay, part 4 is that really quick, now she's in me, always with me, tiny dancer in my hand, and then it goes right back to that part. So that little part, and I'll show you that whole, the chords in part 4 is basically, now she's in me, so it's a C, F over C, C, F over C, C, C sus 4, C, and then a G, D minor over F, C over E, and D minor. So G, D minor over F, C over E, D minor. And then it goes back to that part. Okay, part 5 is Oh How It Feels So Real. I'm lying here, no one near, only you. So those chords are an A flat, B flat, G minor, C minor, then it goes back to the A flat. If you can't hear me. B flat. If I say softly. So it's a G. Softly. So it's a G over B and then a G over D. So the chords in part 5 are an A flat, B flat, G minor, C minor, A flat, B flat, G over B, G over D, and then it goes, so it goes like C over E. Hold me closer, tiny dancer, and we'll get to that. That's the next part. So part 6 is Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dancer, and that's the Hold me closer, tiny dancer. And he comes back up, count the headlights on the highway. So the chords in part 6 are F, C over E, D minor, C over E F, C over E, and then the music says A minor 9, but I don't relate to those weird 9 chords and 13s, and you really don't need those. Anything above 7, those 7s, and even those are tough to remember. Okay, so the chords in part 6 are an F, C over E, D minor, C over E F, C over E, and then A minor 7, and then he goes. So a bunch of G's. He just bounced up on G chords. So same thing on round 2 of it. Lay me down in sheets of linen. Same chords. F, C over E, D minor. And then the second time, you had a busy day today. This is where it's different. So he's basically, he's doing that. And then he goes back to that part. So the bridge is the part where after that last, you had a busy day today. Now it comes to an A, and it's all G over A, F over A, and then it does all the G's. And before it gets to that part. So the ending is basically just a C chord that then it actually goes to an F instead of a C over F, so it goes. So to end the song, they just do a. And he ends the song on the C chord. Tiny Dancer by Elton John. You guys all have an awesome night. See you in the next one.